Morning, everybody. Getting set up here for the live video. This is my first ever live video. Hopefully I don't blow it too bad. Trying here. See what happens. I'm going to airbrush this bag today. Like I said, I'm still getting everything set up and ready. Hope everybody's doing good today. In case you didn't know, I'm a nervous wreck. As usual, I'm not good at videos. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me or if I need to speak up. You to let me know what I need to do. I'm mixing some paint up right now. Can you hear me good? What I'm going to try to do is record it with my phone, and then I'm going to try to respond on the laptop to the comments and everything if I need to. Awesome. Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Stacy. There's Jennifer. I'm glad you can hear me. I had no idea how this is going to work. Like I said, this is my first time. I'm used to setting these up and, you make a video, if you mess it up, you can redo it. Appreciate you guys joining me today. Be sure to let me know at the end, if I mess it up or if I do awesome and you want more, tell me. I gotta know. Need to know what you guys want and what you think. I think it's kind of cool because everybody tells me they want to see me do this and they want to watch. I'm going to do it regardless of whether people's watching or not. So I think it's kind of neat to be interactive with people. So right now, I'm adding some reducer and some black paint into the airbrush. I've got it all mixed up. I've already mixed my white, which is what I'll use the most of today. I did realize this morning that what I'm used to doing is having my laptop right here beside me with like a reference picture of some sort. Well, I can't do that today if I've got a video running, but that's okay. I guess you guys get to test me today and see how well I can pull it out of here and put it onto here. Let's see if a few people want to join before I get started. I've got the bag ready. I clip it up here so that it won't slip and fall on me. Sometimes I'll get hoodies and shirts and stuff and they'll be a little extra fuzzy. So to prep them, take a little tape. I'm sure you've all done this before with lint. Get any of the extra little fuzzies off there if you need to. These bags aren't bad, but a lot of the hoodies, they can really get you. And what it does is because you're using an airbrush, all them little fuzzies want to catch all the overspray and it just gets it really, really foggy. But the bag I'm doing today, these are just canvas tote bags. I don't remember the exact size of them, but you can see as a reference. They're not real big. They're perfect for the beach or the gym and carry around different places. My wife came up with the idea. I will give her credit. She is amazing, and I love it when she comes up with ideas. I tell her she's wrong every time she comes up with the idea, and of course she's always right, so she gets to gloat about it. But when you're good, and she's definitely good. So she come up with the idea, and they've been selling great. People love them. I can do them fairly quick. I can put about any design on them, but I don't spend a lot of time on them. I'm not going to spend all day on them. Good morning, Mary. How are you doing? Rebecca, Donna. Good morning, everybody. Ed. Hey, there's Mike. How's it going, Mike? How's traveling going? There's Sandy. It's so awesome to see you guys in here. Oh no, there's the wife. She's watching. She heard me. Hurry up and erase that, everybody. We can get rid of that part, right? Edit that out on a live video. Happy Friday. Kara, Ricky, Gerald, awesome. Got all kinds of people in here. You know, the more people I get, the more nervous I get. All right. We got a bunch of people in here, and all of you came to watch me do this, correct? So we're going to make it happen. Now, I don't want to get into all the technical jargon of the airbrush because I'm sure that's not why you're really here. Somebody from Ontario, that is awesome. But this is the airbrush I use. It's an Iwata Clip. These are my absolute favorite. I've got 4 of them actually. I've got 2 of them I'm going to use today. These are the workhorse of the airbrush. They are amazing. I've had one for I think 6 years now, and it works just as good as the day I got it. It's a double action, so what that means is this trigger controls everything. One button does it all, okay? What we're gonna do is the Grim Reaper that I put on the other bag, it actually sold a day or 2 ago. That's what I'm gonna attempt to put something like that on here. Can you see it real good? I'm afraid I'm gonna end up getting in your way. So I'm gonna try to back out quite a bit so that you can see it. I don't know if I could set the camera up different to where you could zoom in, and I don't know if y'all can do that from your end or what. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new at this. But I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly fog in, kind of like a layout. That'll get me close to where I want it, and that way, because it's lightly fogged in, if it's really off or something I can't fix, I can blacken it out and start over. But the layout is very important as you get started. What I want to do is I will lay out the cloak part of the Grim Reaper. Now this bag stops about right here. When you open it up and flatten it out, it'll stop down at the bottom. So there's no point in working too hard past that. I don't know if you guys can see it on the video. It's just going to be a light fog in. You want it to be a little wavy, a little crazy looking. And you know, we're not going off anybody's specific picture. This is a stock item, so I can make it however I want, which gives me the ability to be creative. And that's always, as an artist, the most fun part anyway. But as you can see, I've got the outline of the hood. And it's pretty centered on the bag. Everything looks good, top to bottom. Gives me room at the top to play. The skull will go in here. I mean, everything looks good. So what I'll do now that I've got it laid out is I'll go ahead and add some more paint everything gets done in layers. A lot of people think that I can just walk in here and go, there's your name and you're done. That doesn't happen. It won't happen. It won't look good. You have to go back through and layer it and layer it. The brighter you want it, whether it be white, black, or the color, you just keep adding layers and keep adding layers. Then when you get done, you've got a whole bunch of overspray you need to clean up. Clean that up and then go in and do your details. There's a lot to it. And every step I enjoy. I love every single step of airbrushing. Except for the clear coat. That's the hard part. Can't say I enjoy that. Protecting the item, that's the hard part. It doesn't matter what kind of piece of art I do, I've got to be able to protect it so it'll last as long as possible. And that just depends on the item. Sorry, got business going on over there too. People asking prices and stuff, I love it. And you guys got any questions, I'm going to do my best to watch for the comments, and hopefully I can spot your question. Ask away. You guys that come on here and watched, I've got a little secret for you. I love airbrushing so much that I'm always worried, something could happen to my hand or my finger and make it where, I can't airbrush anymore. Sometimes I airbrush with my left hand. Just to practice, just to make sure that if anything ever happens, I've got a backup. Maybe that's a little crazy, I don't know, but this is my dream and I want to make sure that one way or the other I get to do this the rest of my life. But that's up to you guys too. I hear a train in the background. I knew I was going to do that. For those that haven't been to my shop, I live close to a train track. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's all day long, randomly. Some are loud, some are not. All right, so I'm going to work on the cloak part. When you do this, you want to picture a light source, okay? I'm going to pick the most common light source, and that would be the top left here. So I'll picture a light source coming in, like if you were holding a flashlight or moonlight or something coming in. So this is going to be my brightest side. I'll go ahead and highlight it the most. Picture it waving, coming in, this side coming up and over. It's fabric, it's going to want a texture to it. But right now, like I said, it's more of just a layout. It's interesting in the beginning, some of these, you have a hard time picturing what it is. You guys may not see much going on right here. I can kind of picture the biggest majority of it in my mind. And then when I get down to the details, it really makes it come alive. Caroline, is it acrylic you use on clothes? Yes, actually I use acrylic on everything. This is all acrylic based paint. I use Crazything, Wicked brand paint. Even on cars and trucks and helmets, I use acrylic and then I'll clear coat over top of that. It's all water based. And then on the clothes and the fabric, I seal it and heat set it to make it last as long as possible. glad y'all can't feel this stove behind me. It is hot in here. I stoked it up so that I wouldn't have to worry about it. It's getting hot behind me. Y'all got me sweating in here. Alright, can y'all kind of see the layout there where I'm going with it? Now, when I get to this side, it's going to be shadowed, so it won't be as bright. So I'll go in and I'll put some waves still in it. It'll have some spots that you still see, hit and miss. Definitely won't be as bright as the other side. Do like, was it Bob Ross? Put a happy little shadow in here. Put a happy little highlight. That man knew what he was doing though. Done some amazing work. Sarah, you can swipe to the right to not see comments. See, you're already past my pay scale there. I bet if I swipe to the right, the whole video would end up stopping. That's just the way me and electronics work. I can use these hands for artwork. I can't do it for that phone. But, or are you telling everybody else? I'm just thankful it's working. Alright, now, you can see, hopefully, in the camera here, I've got a lot of overspray. It's come through there, which is expected. Caroline, you got an airbrush a couple weeks ago and you haven't been brave enough to take it out. Well, you know, I can do one-on-one classes just like this. I charge by the hour. Could show you whatever you would like to see. And give you a little beginner crash course. Get yourself some paint. Make sure you've got about 30 psi, one way or the other. We'll make it happen. Get it out and try it. I'll tell you another little secret I do with people. Put water in it. Try it out with water. Give it a shot. You'll learn the trigger. You'll learn, you know, how to back off and how the actual airbrush functions, and you don't even have to worry about cleaning it up afterwards. Cleanup's a lot of fun too, but we won't get into that today. I won't do that till this afternoon. I clean my airbrushes every day. When I go out and do parties and events, people don't realize that when the party's over, Crazything comes home and comes to the shop and spends an hour or two cleaning out all these airbrushes because you can't let them sit overnight. What do you think? Is that a good layout for it? You tired of the layout? You ready to get the skull going? All right. Grim Reapers, they tend to look pretty mean looking. So when they're mean looking, you kind of want the brow down. And that's usually where I start, is with the brow. Come out here in the center. You want it to be good and sharp. Kind of work up a little bit so he's got a little bit of anger to him. Over here and do the other one. You can make it good and bright now and then go back and shadow it later so it's not as predominant. And the cool thing about shadowing it later when you're working with black and white, you start getting a gray look to it, which is what you want, without having to mix a gray paint. It gives it a good eerie look on stuff like skulls and reapers and different things. I love the look. I would prefer black and white over anything. I can get a lot more detail. I know a lot of artists, they love to airbrush on a white canvas. I would airbrush on black all day long. If you go to crazythingart.com, check out my work, I'd say probably at least 80% of it is on something black. Which is what I want. I'm going to try to not get into a lot of details right now. A lot of them will end up getting covered up or changed. But I have to catch myself because I am bad about getting so involved in what I'm doing because I love it so much that I'll get into it and I don't want to stop, and I'll just sit here in one spot for, so long and then realize, oh wait, I've still got so much to go. You get hyper focused. All right, so we need a nose on this guy. I'm gonna put the nose about right in here. This will be the crown to the top of his nose. Remember that it's bone. Again, you don't want to try to go super dark or nothing. You just want to get a good outline. Like that right there. So you can already see a face coming, can't you? Remember, if you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to spot them here and answer them. Do the bridge of the nose here. The bridge of the nose, if you think about it, because it sticks out, it's always going to be like the closest thing to the light underneath that hood. So you want to make it pretty bright. I hear another train. Can you guys hear that train? Does it come over on the video? Alright. See the bridge of the nose there? Okay, so now I'm going to work my way over. I'm going to get the eyes and go down into the cheeks. So right now all we're doing is just an outline. Nothing too predominant. When you go to this right side, remember that it's going to be just a little darker. You hear the train good, huh? Well, at least we got good sound. Might not be near as good of a video if you couldn't hear me blabbering, right? I want a good sharp line on the center of that nose, on the top. Like I said, that's going to be your highest peak on the face. So I'll go ahead and get some extra paint in there now, make it good and stand out there good and bright. I can already see it. The brighter you get it, the more it looks like it's sticking out there. Anessa, you got Chewbacca love on it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. You can order a custom one on my Etsy page. See, there we go again. I'm getting myself into the details again. I'm getting involved. Hyper focused. Alright. Another thing to do, I don't know how many guys are little crafters and artists that's listening right now, but always make sure that you take a step back. You know, I can sit right here for days and days, and then you need to take a step back and check your workout. Make sure everything's doing good. I like it so far. Let's get in here. Start forming up some of this bone structure in here. Start getting him to pop out a little bit. A couple people had asked me earlier how long of videos I was going to make. And honestly, I have no idea. That's up to you guys. I just sit and work out here all day. So, you know, I could make videos all day, or you guys could get tired of watching, or check back in later, you know, whatever. You tell me. I know not everybody's got all day to sit and watch me do what I love to do. You want to come in here and be kind of spotty and sporadic. Because remember, this is bone. Being a Grim Reaper, the bone's probably not in good shape, so there's going to be cracks in it later. You know, I'll get in there and worry about the details later, but so you don't want to just come in there and make something real solid. And we'll do the same thing over here. Come in and just look for details. We're going to create them as we go. Every bit of paint on there that you're putting right now is basically where light is touching. I don't know how well I'm explaining this to you guys. Stuff like this, I've been doing skulls for a long time. They kind of come a little natural to me, and every one of them has its own personality. I absolutely love them. Some white totes with some black animals. That would be different. I haven't looked into any white totes yet. I'm sure we could get them. Do I have your Etsy link on my page? I think so. I hope so, somewhere. If not, it's etsy.com/shop/Crazything art. You can search for it there. Or, you know, since I'm all fancy today, I may actually be able to type it right here for you. Look at there. Boy, I'm fancy. Got it. I got a question for you guys. This guy's looking pretty mean. Do you think he needs fangs or regular teeth? I'll let you guys decide. Help me create this guy. I'm getting ready to get down to that part. I'll let you tell me. Does he get like some vampire fangs? Or should I just do regular teeth? Comment and tell me. Getting kind of low. Afraid you guys won't be able to see me. Move this up a little bit. How's that? Is it good for you guys? Does that work? Can you see it? I got fangs. I got fangs. Fangs. Last one was Heath. That's true. Good job. Oh, more fangs. All right, it looks like the fangs have it. I'm going to do some fangs. Thanks, guys. This is pretty cool. I like being able to interact with you guys. So normally those big huge decisions like that are up to me, and you know that never works out. Now at least if I mess it up I can blame you guys, right? Alright. Here we go. I've got more of these blank canvas bags too. If you guys want to watch me do another one, give me some good ideas on what you want me to put on it. I thought about doing a rose, but I've already got one with a rose on it. It's on my Etsy page too. It's in stock. It's actually for sale. This is above the teeth here. To a good set of fangs, you need your first front two teeth. Now we got to remember, the bag will stop like right here, so we don't want to get too far down and end up with the fangs on the bottom of the bag and, you know, big oops there. Not a mistake we could really recover from. How about an eagle? You know what, Derek? It's a great idea, but I've actually got an eagle bag already. It's over there on my Etsy page for sale. I have one of those in stock. See, great minds think alike. What kind of paint am I using? Crazything, acrylic-based paint. Have you ever heard of it? It's specifically made for airbrush. It's airbrush paint. The reason it's got to be specifically made for airbrush painting is because the pigments in it has to be milled down extra small so that it'll fit through here. If you use regular paint that wasn't made for the airbrush, it will just clog it up the whole time. It's not that you can't force it through different ways, but you're not going to be able to do detail work and stuff like that just forcing paint through. What do you think? Is he coming to life yet? Is he looking mean? I like the fangs. Fangs definitely give them some character and help them look a little meaner, don't you think? When I done a Gene Simmons portraits, I make sure to put fangs and stuff on him. He looks so much different. And of course, the tongue you gotta embellish. Makes a huge difference. What do you think? You like it? Now we need to figure out if we're going to put a bottom jaw on it. We don't really have room for it. I mean, from here it'll look great, but the bottom jaw would roll over. But I can go ahead and give it the illusion of being there. The bottom teeth are going to be completely different, of course. They'll stop right along that bottom edge. What do you think? How's it looking? You liking it so far? To me, this isn't even the fun part yet. I enjoy getting in there and really putting in a lot of details. It depends on what I'm working on. Try to put a little extra into every piece. I mean, I'm sure that I could call this one done and be like, hey, look, it looks good, you know, and put it on there and sell it, but it's not good enough for me. Just watch as the teeth start popping out of there. A lot of this part here won't really be seen, but I'm going to put it in anyway, just to make sure. What do you think? Can you see it good? Does it look pretty cool? That's just a layout. One thing I'm going to do is I'll get out my black now. Come back through here. See where the eyes have got some overspray on them. I'm going to sharpen those edges up. Kind of add some little details, some little shadows while I'm in there. And look at the difference between this side and that side. If you can see it, there's a big difference. Have I done a male line before? Yes, I've actually done a few of them. You can check out on crazythingart.com. There should be some of them there. I know I've done one on canvas, and I've done a few on shirts. Also done a few tigers. Done several tigers lately, actually. Alright, come over here to the other side. Sharpen these lines up some. To me, as you do this, and you shape it just a little bit sharper and finer, he starts building even more character. Maybe gets a little meaner if you want him to. I've also noticed with a lot of skulls, they look better if they have some sort of eye reference. Whether it be just a hint of light or whether it be an eyeball. Some sort of eye reference makes them look meaner. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you look at these guys, these are just me doodling. I don't know how well you can see them. But see, just having the eyes in it just makes it look into your soul, I guess. But it looks pretty cool. So I'll be sure and give him some eyes here in a minute too. He's a Grim Reaper, you know, he's got to have personality. He's got to look at you, not just exist. Okay, I don't see any scrolling of the comments here. Don't know what happened there. There we go. Raggedy Ann and Andy, old school. Oh, that's very old school. Even before my time. Make eyes that pop. Oh yeah. Now, remember he's wearing a hood, right? Well, if the light's coming this way, part of his face needs to have a shadow from the hood. And that will help, believe it or not, it'll help take part of him and shadow it, and it'll make more of it stick out. Does that make sense? Watch this. You see a little bit of shadow here already? Give him a little bit more. Gently start bringing him back into the shadows. And make sure your curve is the same as the hood, so that you can reference with your eyes that the hood is what is causing the shadow. See how he fades back nice and slow? Same thing over here. Fade him back just a little bit. You'll slowly start to shadow and disappear on parts. What do you think? You look back at it, can you see where he's in and out now? Gives him a little bit more of that 3D part. I don't know if that's helpful or not. I don't even know if that's the reason you're watching this. But, you know, I want to try to help somebody out today. So now, I'm going to come back and highlight some details into his hood. This will help give it some texture and build on it. The brightest part of his hood should be up here if your light source is coming from this way. This should ultimately be the brightest spot on the whole picture. So I'm going to build up some more paint right here. Now this white, as you put it on, it can trick you, especially being on fabric. What will happen is you add it and then you think, oh, all right, that looks great. And then you go do something else, and when you come back to that part, it's darker because it dries darker. The white will dry darker every time. So always revisit some of your highlights. If I get to help somebody today become a better artist, then that is amazing. I don't know how many artists I've got watching right now. I'd love to be able to help somebody. See how some of these highlights are just adding to it, give it some depth, some character. Imagine if this was like a motorcycle tank or something like that. Oh, I'd be in here doing details for days. I would love to make it look like it was just getting ready to come out here and bite my hand right now. Derek, you're still new to the airbrush. What kind do you have? That means a lot. I started off with a master airbrush. My mother and my Uncle Randy got me an airbrush 7 or 8 years ago, and they got me a master brand. And it came with the air compressor, paint, and everything I needed. And I mean, I took it out of the box and just started painting, and I fell in love with it. But it is a cheaper airbrush. I kind of call them a throwaway airbrush. I use it until it starts messing up on me, and then I just get rid of it and get another one. What kind do you have, Derek? And you also notice several times I'll go back and do something again. Like right here, I see more overspray from where I'm highlighting. I'm going to go back and darken it up again. Try to take care of some of the overspray. Overspray seems to be worse on fabric. Like I said, it's not a flat surface, so every little fiber is going to try to catch paint as you're painting. Linda Templeton, you are an artist and I do everything freehand. Freehand is the best way to do it. I could have put a stencil on here. I could have knocked this out in 5 minutes. Stencil it, spray it, and be done. I know a lot of people work that way, and that's fantastic for them. Sometimes their work even looks better than mine. That's fantastic. It's just not the way I do it. I prefer the purity of it. A Zenny airbrush. Derek, I've never heard of that. That doesn't mean it's not an amazing airbrush. I have no idea. I'm definitely a fan of Iwata. They're a big company. They sell a lot of stuff. They've never done me wrong. We'll come in here now and just add a few more highlights. If you'll stick with me for a couple more minutes, after I get done doing some highlights, I'm going to put the eyes in last. If something happens and I mess the eyes up, I can black them out and do them again. I could put 10 different sets of eyes in it today. It doesn't matter. You can always black them out and do it again. You get it until you get the look you want, especially with something like this. Ryan Barkley, good morning, Ryan. Good to see you on here, buddy. Ryan has helped me out a lot, especially when I first started out. He knows what he's talking about with a lot of the paints and everything. He's real good with the Iwatas and the paints. He knows what he's talking about. Always good to give you some good helpful advice. Yeah, the eyes are going to make this guy. Now I want to highlight this side. Remember, this is the side the light is coming in on. This may be the part that bores you guys a little bit. I understand if you go check out your timeline and come back and look, and then, but you know, you may look completely different. Well, Rosa, I hope your son is doing well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate every one of you guys. This would be so, I don't know, strange if I looked up at the counter and there was like, you know, one person. But you know what? If that's what I got to do and show one person what I'm doing, then that's fantastic too. But instead, I've got a bunch of you guys in here watching. That's pretty cool. Y'all's support is everything. I mean, this is my career. This isn't just a hobby for me anymore. It used to be. But I've had so many people help build me up and build my business to where I'm at. I can't do this alone. It doesn't matter how good I am or how bad I am. I mean, I know that my work has got a lot of room for improvement, and I'm learning every day. But I can't do any of this without you guys at all, ever. I will not forget that. You see the highlights going in? You see where he's being lit up on one side now? I won't put near as many on this side. So what do you think on the next one? What should I paint on the next one? Anybody got any more ideas? I've seen a few good ideas. You gotta be careful. I'll get in here and start concentrating on what I'm doing so much, I'll forget that I'm even making a video and that you guys are behind me. I could just sit right here and do this for days and days. And I love it. I love watching it come to life, watching it evolve. Once you get it laid out, you know, there's so many changes you can make it look better, or, you know, you might look at it and make, you know, something you done made it worse, and that's okay. A lot of it you can fix. I don't know if I've ever thrown anything away. There's always ways to fix it. There's been a few times, you know, I may like, you know, black half of it out or something because I don't like the way it looks or something, but for the most part, you can fix about anything, one way or the other. He's looking like he's getting some bone structure in there. So most of your highlights are going to be on this one side. My left side. I don't know what side it is, up to you guys. It confuses me trying to figure that one out. If you like my video today, let me know, okay? I want to come back and read some comments. If there's some criticism, let me have it. Tell me what I can do better next time, if there is a next time. And if I'm doing a good job, let me know if you want me to do another one. We might could make this a Friday thing, you know? I've got no problem with that if you guys want it. If you're going to tune in and watch, you guys tell me what to do. I will listen. Contrary to what the wife says, I will listen. Sometimes. Every now and then. Maybe. Kinda. I'll listen. I will. Yeah. You guys wanted fangs. They're on there. Oh yeah. Make sure to highlight them fangs. I want them to be seen really good. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty sharp. What do you think? I'm starting to like it. Is this the boring part for you guys? Or is it interesting? You're almost ready to see the eyes. How many of you are hanging in there with me? What do you think? I love this. This is so awesome. My first Facebook Live video, guys. Bunch of people watching me do what I love to do. Isn't that crazy? Is this where I'm supposed to promote myself? Tell everybody, hey, I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, I've got a TikTok that's new and trying to be up and running. I've got a YouTube channel you can check out. I've got my website, crazythingart.com. I've got the Etsy page where I take a lot of my orders. If you don't want to use Etsy, just send me a money order. Send me a check. Whatever works, we'll make it happen. I work for you. And I absolutely love it. Get to be home with my wife and kids every day. Nobody's taking me away from them. If I do go away from home to work, guess what? They usually come with me. Isn't that amazing? Promote, promote, promote. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay. Sorry, I could sit here and do the details and talk about myself all day. I love it too much. I could talk airbrush all day long. That stove is still going good. I'm sweating in here. Labor of love, right? All right. I want to add a few more details. I'm going to come back with my black here, guys. Black and white's all I got going on right now. And I'm just going to add a few little, I guess call them textures. They're almost happy accidents, I guess. These little squiggles, I don't know how well you can zoom in and see. I'm just going to come in and add little spots here and there. They don't have to be any kind of pattern. They're just random little marks here and there. Like I said, happy accidents. And what that does is it gives it the appearance of little crevices and little spots in the bone. Of course, depending on what you're working on, you may not want that. But being bone, the more I do this, kind of the more aged and rotten he will look. But it's just here, there, everywhere, you know. I don't even know if you can see it on video. But every one of them will create almost like a hole or a crack. Whatever you prefer. Adds just a little bit more depth and a little bit more texture to it. You know, and it's kind of up to you. That's the cool part about it, is get creative. If something happens and you think you added too much, well, guess what? Go back with some white and fix it and do it again. No big deal. Don't be scared of it. If you're not trying, you won't know. I'm going to get in some cracks on the nose here. Give it more of that bone look. What do you think? Can you see those little cracks? I think that just gives it so much character. You know, I could work on the hood if I wanted to. Put some rips in it. And why not? You know, the Grim Reaper is not like he was born yesterday. He's been through some hell, right? Let's show it. Don't hurt anything. It's yours. Be creative. Make it however you want. When I get done with this, being fabric, what I will do, so I get the iron out, let it heat up and get good and hot. I will heat set this, something like 250 degrees, and go over the whole thing, get it good and dry. After it's set for a little while, I've got some spray. No, I'm not sponsored. Wish I was. Wouldn't that be cool? This is Save Tea from Coast Airbrush in California that I put on all my fabrics. This stuff is amazing. It helps it last this that much longer. You could throw this in the washing machine, cold water, and it won't come off. I'm sure eventually, after so many washes, it's going to wear out, but you know what doesn't? A wolf paw print. I like that. With wolf eyes in the paw print. Ooh, that would look pretty wild, wouldn't it? I like the idea. It's a good idea. Okay. Here's the part everybody's been waiting for. You ready? Some eyes. So, I like this idea. You let me know. Look at just how much it's already changed. Just that little bit of, you know, building up a character there. You want to make sure they're kind of centered with each other. But just two little dots is all it takes to already brighten him up. The whole face is there. Hello, Susan. How are you? Now, I'm going to brighten it up and give it like he's casting out. I'll brighten the whole eye up. Look at that. Lit up that whole socket. How's that? Is that cool? You like that? Does it look neat? Tell me, what do you think? See how much different the eyes made it? Isn't that huge? Makes him come to life. All right. Now, watch this part. What do you think of that? Now, I can go back and add whatever I want. I can put a different set of eyes in it. I can put dragon eyes in it. I can put an actual eyeball in it. That's where the airbrush is pretty cool, because you don't have to be so concerned about messing up. You can fix it one way or the other. It helps if you let it dry in between your repairs and stuff. I can see a little bit of white peeking through where it's trying to mix a little bit because I didn't let it dry, but you know, I'm trying to show you guys. This one isn't for anybody specific. I will be putting it in stock probably this afternoon sometime. So if you really love the way this one looks, you can buy it. It's yours. It's up to you. All right, let's go back and give him some eyes again. Make some of this a little brighter where some of the overspray's got on him. The smaller ones made him look soulless. That's true, Chastity. It's pretty eerie looking, huh? So what do you think? Should I go back with the small ones again? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You're so at ease. I'd be shaking. Don't know what options are out there. Oh, sorry. You moved on me. I'd be shaking knowing people were watching. Great job. I'm trying to forget that there's very many people watching, Tammy. But I do love what I do. I'm at ease when I have an airbrush in my hand. This is my serenity. I'm not kidding. There's times that the world disappears when I'm doing this. There could be a national catastrophe and I wouldn't know it. I'd be too occupied doing what I'm doing. All right. Go back and give him some eyes again. Watch him come back to life again. Like that. What do you think? Somebody tell me something. Should I leave it right there? Because see, this is a hard part as an artist. I never know when to stop. I could sit here and airbrush on this guy all day long. Hard to make very much money that way. All right, I'm gonna wait for your opinions here. Give me some feedback. Am I done with it? Should I leave it? Should I change the eyes? What do you think? Chastity said it looks badass. Ronnie says leave it. Susan says leave it. Jennifer said he's awesome. Melissa said he'd leave it. Tammy said leave it. All right. Derek said I could add some texture to it. That's true. I could. Bigger the eyes makes it look so different. Totally sweet, perfect like it is. You know what? It sounds like I could probably have no problem selling it like it is. Okay? I think I put some time in it. I think it looks cool. Check him out up close. You guys told me to put fangs in it, and that's what I did. What do you think about that? Is it cool? I'm gonna grab another one. Who wants to watch? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I'll leave him right there. I haven't posted this on Facebook yet. Here's one I did the other day. One of my ladies. I don't even know if you can hear me way over there. I know you guys are watching, but it's so strange because, you know, you can't like talk back. Well, you can leave a comment. Derek, what is a good way to learn freehand? My first thing I would tell you, Derek, is to leave the stencils alone. Every artist is different. A lot of them use them. I refuse. I would rather learn to do it this way and then learn to fix it and make it look sharp, sharpen the edges and stuff myself. But I'm more pure to it, I guess. You don't have to be, though. Everybody does it their own way. All right, guys, I've got a new one out. Now I need to figure out what to do on this one. All right, I don't have any reference pictures or access to them. So, what if I did an eyeball? Would that be cool? Have I ever done tattoos? I do temporary tattoos with my airbrush gun. I actually get to do temporary tattoos at the school next Friday, 1 week away. Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I can't wait to do that. It's so cool to watch the kids doing it. They light up. They smile. So I want to do something that you guys can watch come to life as I do it. Gwen said, do an eyeball. All right. That's one vote for the eyeball. Who else wants to see an eyeball? Anybody? Got a brand new blank canvas here. What do you think? You ready? Any other ideas? Are we going to go with the eyeball? I like that idea. James said try an eyeball. Tammy said eyeball. Go for it, Chastity. Susan said sure. I don't know about that answer. All right, here we go. Now, I don't know how many of you was in here earlier, but picture the center. And again, remember that these bags, when they open up, you're going to lose this much of it. So don't lower yourself down, you know. Get your bearings on whatever it is, whether it's a big hood or whether it's something little bitty. Get your bearings on where you're at. If you don't do that first, and I have made this mistake, that I'll get done with something and look and realize that I'm shifted way over here and I'm this far off. Well, okay, it's just going to be the way it is. That's a part of it, but try to get your bearings, figure out where center's at. Now, just like before, what I'm going to do is get a layout. Just barely fog it. This is in your trigger control right here. Just barely fog it in. I don't know about you guys, but this is fun. I am so used to sitting out here by myself and doing this. And to have you guys watching it is so neat. I didn't know if anybody would watch. Figured it might be like me and 2 other people. But a bunch of you guys have come out. That is so amazing. I feel the love, guys. I really do. And it is appreciated. All right. Now I went over this actually, what, 2 or 3 times to get a good layout. What do you think? Does it fit good? Now, figure out which side is which. Kind of get your bearings of where you're at, what you want it to look like. Eyes are so cool too. They all have their own personality. Every single one. Have you ever really looked in somebody's eyes? Even a picture of eyes. If you go online and look at different pictures of eyes, they're all so different. The insides of them, there's no set specific way. It's really intriguing. I've looked at several because, you know, I airbrush for them and I airbrush the eyes and look for different designs in them. You'll get to watch this one evolve as I create it. Again, keep it in layers, okay? Kind of want to fade it a little bit. So that this eyeball has somewhere to be, give him some space, give him some thickness to him. Make sure he gets an eyelid. See how he starts to pop out there? Doesn't need a bottom lid as well. Give him some surrounding here. Make him look like he's fading in a little bit. Now this is skin, so give it a little texture. Have fun with it. What are you gonna do? Mess it up? That's okay. You can fix it. You guys that's got an airbrush, there was somebody on there earlier who said they had an airbrush at home. They hadn't tried it out yet. Well, get it out. Try it. Enjoy it. Smile. Love it. It's okay. Especially on projects like this, you know? There's nobody behind me saying, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. Thank you, Chassis. I appreciate it. That's right, James. You got an order at the post office as we speak. I took it this morning. Derek's a photographer. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you get to see the eyes, and you got to deal with all the red eyes and the glares and all that stuff, don't you? Yeah, I don't have to deal with that. The only way I get a red eye is if I airbrush a red eye. See what I'm doing here is just adding little spots here and there. This gives it that added texture, like there's not just an eyeball there. It's like it's on the bag. It's like it's built in, you know? That's what I think is so cool. Give it a little bit of surrounding. Some light, some dark. Just barely there, right? I'm going to start building up some of my layers. What's the brightest part of the painting? It's going to be the white in the eyes that's closest to the center. James, when you get that light switch cover, make sure to let us know, okay? See what you think in person. Shipped out 3 items this morning. A dragon shirt. Can't wait to show you guys the dragon shirt I worked on yesterday. I did a skull shirt with some blue flames on it yesterday. What do you think? Is it starting to look like something? Should we color the eye? You know what? I'm going to leave that up to you guys. If you guys want color in this eye, let me know. What color should I make it? I could leave it black and white. Could make it blue, could make it green. Have I ever done a cougar before? Well, I don't think so. I think I've done lions and tigers. I may have done like mascots, cougar mascots, but that's probably not what you're asking. You imagine walking around the gym or the mall or somewhere, carrying this big old eyeball? People will see that, won't they? Ronnie says a green eye. I've got one vote for a green eye so far. Starting to come alive. Starting to like it. Getting a little bit more of an eyelid here. And the reason I want to hit up the eyelids some more is so that when I do the eyelashes, it'll give them some contrast and make them pop a little better. This is kind of where I'm getting ready to get into a gender now, I guess. Audrey likes the black and white. I do too. Green and black are my favorite colors, so I'd have to say green. So let's get another vote for green. If I went with some really big, huge, bold eyelashes, I guess it would have to be a woman's eye, wouldn't it? More than likely. I want to make the bottom of this eye a little bit brighter. Even though I will come back and add highlights here in a little bit. Alright. Now, for the first time on this one, I'll grab the black. Purple would be cool. Yeah, it would. Susan says definitely green. Gwen with another purple. Now, who do you know's got a purple eye, Gwen? Come on. There's probably people. Contact lenses, I guess, huh? Alright, now you want a little bit of a shadow under there. Not too much. You can overshadow this. And if you overshadow it too much, you'll countersink the eye, which won't look right because, you know, your eye and your eyelid are pretty darn close to each other. Alright? And what I'm doing here is just barely putting a little bit of color, or well, a little bit of black on places that are already black. Makes them look a little deeper. Getting tip dry on my black pretty quick. This will help smooth out the lines. Make it a little sharper for us. Am I in your way? Can you see what I'm doing here? What do you think? How am I doing? wasn't me, that was a truck. Promise. Crazy drivers going through here. So the more detail you can get in here, the more real it's going to start to look. See fine, thank you. Truck with a Jake brake, that's right, and they love them through here. Oh, now you know it was you. Well, I don't have a problem admitting it if it was. That don't bother me. Look at there, all right. Back here, add some few spots over here where the skin's at. All right, now here's the eyelashes, okay? Now, everybody does these a little different. You can go as long and as short as you want. I mean, you could take them off and go crazy with them, you know, if you want to. It's up to you when you do yours, but I'm just going to keep them subtle. Not get too crazy, out of hand with them. And that stove is still hot. What is going on in there? Burning me up. You ever brush inspirational words on bags or other things? Well, actually, yeah, I do. I did a poem on a canvas last week. When airbrushing, is there fumes like when painting? That's actually a good question. Some people, you know, will throw a fit. Well, why ain't you wearing a respirator? Why ain't you wearing a mask? You know, if I was in here really spraying like crazy, then yeah, it would be a good idea. Usually I'll have a fan or something going. Now that the weather's better, a lot of times the door's open and I'm in a big room. This garage is 30 foot long. If I was in a smaller room, I would suggest it. It's not good to breathe it all in, of course. I'm not going to say that it is, but it is acrylic based paint, so it's not like your normal paints. There's not a lot of chemicals in it. There's not a lot of the aerosols in it that are real harmful. So I'm pretty safe right here in this area. You always want to be ventilated somehow. When I go to clear coat or spray my sealers, I do that at the end of the day so that I can just spray it and get out. Those end up being dangerous. But out of all the paints, this acrylic is probably the safest. It doesn't mean it's safe. I'm not telling you to drink it. I guess people drink worse. See how eyelashes can really take it over. Having them helps tremendously. There's no sense in getting too insane with them. Just do them how you feel. when I post a lot of these eyeballs that I've done in the past, people probably pick on me about the eyebrows more than anything. Or the eyelashes, I'm sorry. And that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I usually put just a few down at the bottom. I don't really get too in depth on them either. It will help it with more of that realistic look, if that's what you're going for. You don't always have to go realistic either. I mean, an eyeball's an eyeball. You want an eyeball on a bag, make it look however you want. So do we have any more votes on colors? Are we going with green? Well, we have green and purple. Marie says, how do you wash items you paint? It kind of depends on what it is. Most of my shirts and hoodies, I recommend to turn them inside out. That'll help the most. And then wash them in cold water. Now I have another airbrush that I'm going to use for the color. This keeps me from all the flushing and cleaning and everything like that would take as I do the colors. And I go from one color to the next color to the next color. Or I never have to worry about my white getting contaminated with the color or anything like that. I can use a separate brush. Now, I have some blues. I have some greens. Gwen, if you want a purple one, order one. I'll make you one. I don't want to do a purple one. I've got, how about a fluorescent green? Would that be cool? Would that really make it stand out? Make it pop at a distance, you know? I like this blue, but it's a little dark. And on that black bag, I'm afraid it would disappear. I think we should either do the green or the blue. Both of them fluorescent. Really make it stand out. Susan says, how many airbrushes do you have? I believe I have 8, maybe 9, because I have 3 or 4 of the throwaway ones that I use for my airbrush tattoos and the shows and the events. So my awesome wife actually just got me a brand new one of the throwaways so that I have a backup for this year since we're getting ready to start all of our shows and events. Remember when I first started doing this, I talked to a lady that does it for a living, and I asked her how many airbrushes she had. 22 is what she takes with her everywhere she goes. Fluorescent green, 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 green. All right. The people have spoken. Guys, anytime you buy paint, I don't care if it's new at the store or if you had it sitting on a shelf, shake it up, okay? Shake your paint. Whether you're airbrushing, whether you're using a regular paintbrush, remember to shake your paint, okay? It's huge. I've made this mistake. I've come out here and not thinking, and rookie mistake, I'd pour it in there and I'd fight with it all day long trying to figure out what's going on. Nicole, how's it going? We're doing wonderful. I'm airbrushing, so you know I'm doing good. Doing what I love to do. All right, I'm not going to reduce this. I'm just going to put some in there. A little bit of dew. Won't take much. As you can see from my pour metal here, it's my test piece. Spray it out, make sure it's going to work. Make sure it doesn't go crazy on me. Now, watch this. I usually do the most black and white, but I will admit that a hint of color somewhere can really change a painting a lot. Generally on my stock items, I like to leave them black and white because that way I don't have to worry about being specific for somebody, you know, and losing business because, oh, I wish that had been a blue one, I'd have bought it, you know. But for you guys today, I'm going to make this one green because that's where the votes were at. I'm listening to you. Look at that. Look at that green come out of there. And it looks pretty cool too when you can come back, give it some highlights. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see my highlights on video. I like to get in there and just be real small, put some stuff in there, give it some lines. That way there's actually some depth when you're looking into that eye. You want to see the soul come out in it. You want to see the character pop out. What do you think? You liking it? Can you see it? Alright. A few more little highlights down along the bottom rim I like to add to eyes. If you think about it, your eye is always wet, right? Nobody likes a dry eyeball. So these little bitty highlights down here will help represent that. If you add too much, it'll make it look like he's crying. You know, we don't want to make him a sad eye. How's it looking? You like it? Are we loving the green eye, guys? So cool to be able to interact with you guys. Usually I just have music playing out here till the train's interrupted. Alright, now, what we need next, and probably last, will be a light source, okay? We haven't done a light source on this one. I know if Derek's still on there, he'll know what I'm talking about. A light source can make or break your eye when it comes to being realistic. I think right now, it looks pretty darn realistic. Looks pretty cool, what do you think? But only thing missing is my light source. Normally, I will go through some references and kind of get a good idea of what kind of light source I want. But this time I'm just going to wing it, okay? So, I'm going to go pretty common spot right in here. A big light source. I want it to be not too big. I want it faded just a little. Nice and bright in the middle. Like that. That's a good light source. Now, this thing does it look like he's blinking yet? Imagine, bloop. Just wait for it. Just stop it. Oh, ow. All right, quit goofing off. We got work to do. All right, now, I'm going to do something that you don't see very often, but something that's there that you don't pay attention to. these eyelashes, they put off a shadow. All right? Where's their shadow going to fall? Right here on this light source. See that? What do you think? Somebody tell me something. How's it look? Get it up here on the camera so you can see it. Does it look like it's going to blink? Is that cool? Is there something I should change? You tell me. Here, let me get that for you. You got a little something right. Yep. Don't blink. Nope, I got it. Yep. Oh, this is fun. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it done. I'm finished with it. I'm not going to bore you with the process of ironing it and spraying it with the sealer and all that stuff. If it's something you guys want to see, let me know. I can make how-to videos or show you that process. But you got to let me know what you want to see, okay? So comment. Tell me what you think. Do you want me to do more? Tell me. Tell me you want me to make more. Tell me you don't want to make more. We could make this a common thing. If you enjoyed this, I enjoyed it. But this is what I do for a living because of you guys, and I love it. But I'm going to call it a day. I appreciate everybody that watched. And like I said, if you want something, you want more videos, please contact me or comment. Tell me what you want, and let's make it happen. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have an amazing day and a great weekend. You guys are awesome.